Hello all Forest Hill staff, coming to you with a quick video here on New Year's Eve to kind of give you some updates of what's happened since we left school for the holiday break. It seems weird to have to make a video on New Year's Eve, and I apologize for sending this out. If you don't get to it on today or tomorrow, whatever, that's fine. But I didn't want to leave anybody in the lurch as far as any questions you might have about the goings on yesterday. First of all, that's what I want to talk to you about is the Board of Education last night voted to make the first week of the semester a remote learning week. Their reasoning was that the nurses, having been out of work with the rest of us, have not had a chance to get caught up on all of the COVID happenings over the break. And so we've got a lot of exposure reports and positive test reports that the nurses need to go through and get information out to those students, their families, and of course us, their teachers and staff, to let us know that they've been quarantined. We've also had some staff members that have been exposed over the break, and those reports have been coming into me throughout the break, and so that's going to put all schools in a little bit of a bind of coming up with a good plan for that first day of how to handle students who are at school for the first day of the semester and their teachers are not. So just giving us a little bit of a buffer time. So that's the first thing is you need to be thinking about next week. Obviously you got Monday as a teacher work day, so there's no need to panic. You don't have to have anything ready for your students on Monday. What you should have ready, at least by Tuesday, is 4 days of remote learning for next week. So again, what's the COVID mantra we've talked about? It's just you're just having to flex and pivot so quickly throughout this time that I remained utterly amazed at how well you guys are dealing with that. But you'll need to react to this and pivot quickly to have 4 days of remote learning ready for your students next week. Again, you can have that ready on Monday if you like, but you've got Monday to do that. So if you can't get it ready until Tuesday, that's perfectly fine. But it should be 4 days of learning. And remember, that's what we talked about. Remember, it should be about 80% of what you would normally put out in a week. For the first week of the school year. All right, so of the semester. Okay, so the second thing I want to remind you is, my biggest reflection on first semester, and I don't think this is anything that's genius at all. I think I've talked to many of you about it, and I've certainly heard many other educators talk about it, but the thing that was missing during this time is the relationship piece. We've been so successful, and so as are so many other educators around the world, in building relationships with our students, and those relationships are really crucial, especially for marginal students. So some students don't need that relationship as much as other students, but all students thrive somewhat with strong relationship with their teacher, and certainly students with marginal academic profiles and lack of strong support systems at home thrive when they have a strong relationship with their teacher. Well, we missed that first semester with so many of our kids, and it's not our fault. It's just a reflection. And so my challenge to you is what are the strategies you're going to use as you start this second semester in those first 4 days of remote learning? What are the strategies you're going to use to build those relationships with students? And that's really challenging when you're expecting to see them in school those first few days and be able to start those relationships face to face. Well, you don't have that opportunity, and I wish I could change that, but I can't. So what are the strategies? We've already suggested a few things to you. The feedback from our students in the student survey at the end of the semester was clearly that they like to see their teachers in the remote learning days. They like to see their teachers. They like to see their teachers. So just how do you do that with videos and other things that you can do? I know there's products like Loom, which put your face in while you're teaching, but then there's just straight up videos that you do, similar to what I'm doing right now, to get your message out to your students. So I want to encourage you as you build your 4 days of remote learning next week that you think long and hard about videos that not only explain the work and are explicit with your students as far as what they should be doing each day, but also videos that just are personal videos to them, encouraging them, letting them get to know you, just sort of some class meeting time. I also encourage you to have some Microsoft Team meetings with your classes both as whole groups, small groups, and one-on-ones. And force them to turn their cameras on. I know you're going to roll your eyes at that. How do you do that? How do you make them turn their cameras on? And, I believe most students will. If you say, look, turn your camera on, I want to see what's going on. Put a background up and put your picture up there. They want to see your face. You want to see their face. Again, looking to build relationships with your students is what we're talking about. The other thing I'm asking you to do, and again, this was something that I was going to really speak a lot about on Monday with the Teacher Workday, but maybe we can do this by Microsoft Teams, but I really want PLCs to think about goals. Start looking at data from first semester. I know we don't have as much testing data as we've had in the past, but we do have final exam data. We have data how kids did on their final exams in your class. You wrote those exams for the most part. You've got data on pass rates. I want you to look at that data, and I want you to set goals for second semester. Aggressive goals, because they're going to need to be aggressive. We know the data from first semester does not look good. I mean, we know that. I'm not, this is not a judgmental statement. I'm going to be pouring through data. As soon as Ms. Bunn can get me final grade data, I'm going to be pouring through it. We're going to be setting goals as schools and as admin teams. We're going to be setting goals by our alphabets. We're going to be trying to do everything we can to improve things this second semester. So I ask you to start that process in your PLCs also, as beginning to pour through your data. Again, on Monday, the work day is a great day to do that. Pour through your data. Start to look at your pass rates, your fail rates, and start to set some goals around that. Your administrators will be asking for that information in some form from you so that we know what our goals are. All right. So again, videos, thinking about videos and Microsoft Team meetings, letting students see you, getting to build that relationship as we start this semester, setting goals to improve things for second semester. Those are two focuses really as we go in. And then the biggest thing is just making sure that you're prepared for that first week with 4 days of remote learning. And again, I thank you so much for all the flexibility you've had. So sorry that we're not going to be able to start our semester as the way we'd planned. Some of the attendance things we've been talking about are going to be very challenging in this environment. We'll continue to talk about those as we go through, but encouraging students to be present both for virtual learning as well as when we get back face-to-face is going to be probably the limit of where we can go, unfortunately, with attendance for second semester, which we know is so important. Okay. Thank you for listening. Please call me if you have anything. I know it's the holidays, but if you got questions, call me. I'll make time to talk to you and help you answer those questions. Happy New Year to all of you. Be safe tonight. Have a great day. See you soon.